There are times when you might feel aimless. You can't see the places where you belong.
But you will find that there is a purpose. It's been there within you all along.
And when you're near it, you can almost hear it.
It's like a symphony. Just keep listening, and pretty soon you'll start to figure out your part. Everyone plays a piece, and there are melodies.
started the International Albinism Awareness Day at the Uganda Museum. I'm sure you have that memory. So it is such a great honor that after 10 years, we are here not only to celebrate Albinism Day, but the milestones that we've done. The Right Honorable Speaker, the Right Honorable Minister for Disability, excitement. Right Honorable, the First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East African Affairs, the State Minister for Disability, Honorable Helen Grace Asamo, our Permanent Secretary, Mr. Agre Chibenge, RDC, our development partners, district leadership, leaders of organizations of persons with albinism, members of the disability fraternity, technocrats, media, ladies and gentlemen. I stand to welcome you all to this very important day where persons with albinism celebrate resilience and achievement that we have done over a decade. This year in particular is important as we jointly celebrate the International Albinism Awareness Day as one unified fraternity. I take the pleasure to introduce Mr. Peter Ojik from Source of the Nile. I want to also introduce the Executive Director, Women and Children with Albinism, Doreen, right next to her. I also want to introduce Mr. Musa Kimaswa from FPA, Urban Foundation. And I want to introduce all other fraternity members who are here, Mr. Hassan Munodo from Albinism Umbrella Board. Today we stand with pride to recognize 10 years of powerful advocacy, unwavering resilience, and a lot of progress. The journey of persons with albinism in Uganda has been one of visibility, voice, and victory. As the theme has already been said, demanding our rights, protecting our skin, preserving our lives. Let us take a moment to celebrate some of the milestones that we have got over the 10 years. It's been a long decade, and we have some good news that we want to celebrate today. First and foremost, we have our legislators here, and we want to say that 10 years ago, albinism was never recognized, but with the passing of the Person with Disability Act 2020, albinism was included as a disability. Very important. Meaning now we are fully recognized by the government of Uganda. Anything for people with disability, albinism is included. We also want to thank for the economic empowerment. Many of us have benefited from the National Special Grant, and Honorable Asamo will really appreciate you for the affirmative action. I'm on record through the ministry because I happen to sit on that special grant. And persons with physical disability will always take the lion's share. And Honorable Asamo came out and said, can we get the uni disability so that we are not lumped together? We appreciate you, Honorable. We also want to recognize that there has been political participation, as we have witnessed right here in Mukono. We have a parish chief. Claudia is one of us today. That is a milestone to celebrate. We also want to emphasize that with the many myths that we have, persons with albinism, right to life is compromised. Honorable Speaker, Honorable, I want to remind us that the Uganda government passed a law, the Anti-Human Sacrifice Act, which protects other Ugandans, but more so for persons with albinism. We used to go to our legislators, to the police, and report our cases, and they didn't know which law to convict the victims. This is something that we really celebrate. And the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, thank you, Permanent Secretary and Honorable Asamo, that you spearheaded the endorsement of the National Action Plan. I want to say that this is for us, it's like a blueprint. I know there is one that is going on, but the National Action Plan, which comes from the regional African disability architecture, helps us emphasize the issues of people with albinism. Last and not least, Honorable, Right Honorable, you remember in your term at that powerful house, we used to hold fundraising walks. I want to report to you, it was not easy, but I want to celebrate that the dream of having an albinism center has started, that we have acquired 3 acres of land in Lusanja in the Mukono District, and that is a big milestone that we believe we are yet to get more. I want also to appreciate the health support that we have got, and again, we want to appreciate your effort that taxes were waived off, the sunscreens that we get as donations, but we are still asking if the government can help us and provide them as assistive devices. We missed the mark of being on the essential drug list, but we're still asking. There is a window where we can have sunscreens as assistive devices. On the issue of education, we are glad to say that our advocacy has yielded some little steps. Today, learners with albinism are given large font examinations, which has enabled them to perform better. We have also been given 30 minutes extra time for learners who are taking national examinations. This has been an effort through the advocacy, through your support, and we believe that the future is bright. Dear honorable members, these milestones of years of hard work, unity, and tireless advocacy. We owe gratitude to our partners, Parliament, the Ministry of Gender, the Ministry of Health, Uganda Human Rights, civil society, and all of you today. But let us be clear, our work is not done. Even as we celebrate this, discrimination still exists, access is still not enough, our children still face bullying in classrooms. We must not relent until inclusion is a reality, not just in policy, but in practice and power. Today, as we celebrate International Albinism Awareness Day, a decade of progress, we want to appeal again to our people. First and foremost, to our people with albinism, please stand tall. Know that you are not a mistake. Know that even if they think you are invisible, you are not invisible. You are wonderfully and purposefully made. As people with albinism, we are the first people to stand tall and demand our rights. Okay? Even as we ask government to do all this, if we still remain behind, then we will not achieve. Our appeal to the Ministry of Health is that please increase the number of dermatologists. Working with Lupa, who are spearheading on health, we only have around 20 dermatologists in this country. 20. And as people with albinism, we need as many as possible because the 20 is the whole population of 47 million Ugandans. So we're asking the Ministry of Health to increase the number of dermatologists, to significantly invest in training and employing them. We also ask that you prioritize sunscreens as an essential drug for people with albinism, that we will increase our lifespan. Under the Ministry of Education, even as we celebrate the baby steps towards inclusion, we need to do a lot of awareness and empowerment. Most of our learners drop out of school due to bullying, something that can be maintained. Our Ministry of Gender, the PS, Honorable Asafu, thank you for endorsing that National Action Plan. The National Action Plan is ending this year. We're asking through you, the PS, that we can have implementation where we have a budget to this, and then we'll be able to celebrate many milestones. To our community, we seek that you embrace diversity, reject myths and stereotypes, stop stigmatization, discrimination, educate yourselves and others about albinism as a genetic condition, not a caste or not anything. I want also to call upon employers that you have seen talent. Today we have doctors, Dr. Isaac happens to come from Mukono, and he even works at the Mukono Regional Hospital. He's also working at Nakasero. We have many talents, and we're saying when we are empowered, we are well able. Employers, when you give us jobs, please let it not be for an excuse. When we qualify for those jobs, please, we can deliver. So we want to call upon the employers to give us that little adjustment so that we can really do our best. Last but not least, we need support to make our dreams come true. The Albinism Center still needs structures. We have land, we need machinery, we need empowerment. As you have seen the stores, some people are making soap. What if we had a central place where we would empower more people to learn these soft skills, because many of us are not educated. This is our cry today. I want to appreciate our team, all of us in the albinism fraternity in Uganda. We want to thank you so much for being with us. We want to celebrate Christian Blind Mission, Peer Foundation, UNFPA, Ministry of Gender, FIDA, DRF, and the many others, all the albinism organizations. Working together, we will achieve a lot. Together we can build a country where difference is not a barrier, but a bridge to shared humanity. I want to appreciate the ministry for the support that they've given us. They gave us 5 million Uganda shillings towards this occasion. Yes. And Honorable Asamoah in her capacity added a 2 million Uganda shillings towards this occasion. Thank you very much for God and my country.
And all the members right here. First, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mukono District Headquarters, and I work with UNFPA. Thank you so much for inviting me here. I joined to celebrate the day of the International Day for Albino Awareness Day because they are part of disability. As we celebrate, the theme today is about protecting as we celebrate this time, as we are aware about our faith, I would like to celebrate with you and just to encourage you that we are together in this as we continue to celebrate and making awareness so that we can stop the discrimination. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Latif Rumundo. I come from Kamuli district. Let me use my 1 minute very well. First of all, I'm a fresh graduate from Chambogo University, and during my time there, I also served as a building minister for disability affairs. So, Mr. MC, I was once a minister as well, like, I really honored here. Yeah, actually, once a general is always a general, yeah, okay. So now, completing school wasn't easy because we always faced a lot of challenges, which I managed to overcome. And some of them, let me say, defeated me, but I defeated them at first, actually at last. Yeah. What I can say now is that having a person with albinism or having a child with albinism does not make you vulnerable or does not make that person vulnerable. You can inspire that person, you can motivate, you can educate them. I know we always face challenges with sight, but you have to keep pushing. Yeah. For example, you encourage those. I know we have teachers here. When you see that child sitting behind, sometimes we fear to tell our peers that give me space. I sit in front here because my sight can't allow me to see when I'm just a bit far. It's okay for if you're a teacher or if you're a parent, you can go to that school and advise. You talk to the administration, tell them that you be helping me because some of us will always fear to talk. So you think this one will be, they will say that I don't see. They will assume that I don't see something which is the truth. But it's okay to advise the administration. Always allow those kids or those children sit in front, and also encourage their peers. Always support them where necessary. Yeah, that's how we always maneuver and get out of the challenge that we face. Then as well, I can, this is my iron to the government and the officials here, that it's true that we appreciate the government for all what they are doing. They have tried to empower persons with disabilities, but as well there is something that is missing, which they can do, and we become very good people in our communities. We have people who completed school, they have albinism, but many of them are still on the streets looking for jobs if they can consider, they say that we have 10 positions at the district, and they say that maybe let these 2 or 3 be for persons with disabilities. That one will work better. So we are still having albinism. I personally, I don't look at myself as a person with albinism, but I just look at myself as a person with ability. You get? So when I'm given a chance, I can deliver. I know the MC is telling that my 1 minute is done, but I'm concluding with 1 minute because this is the chance I have to talk before the minister, before Right Honorable Rebecca Njola Kadaga, and before these other people that are here. So as I conclude, let us always be confident, let us talk, let us tell people the challenge that we are facing so that we can get hope. If you just keep quiet, no one will know that you're facing a challenge and you will not be hoped. For God and my country, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mr.
Dr. Isaac Chaze and I joined Makerere University in 2012 under the Disability Affirmative Action. The chief guest, we had a challenge in 2012 as persons with albinism in the country, in that it was difficult for us to join the affirmative action that is even in the law. Why? Because we're not recognized as persons with disability. So we had to fight hard, I and Chaze, in that room in Makerere, that fateful day, to go through under persons with low vision, not as persons with albinism. Yet our disability was absolutely invisible. So we struggled and we joined as persons with low vision, but not persons with albinism. But I stand to thank you because it was in your tenure as the Speaker of Parliament that the 2006 Persons with Disability Act was repealed, and therefore we have the 2020 Persons with Disability Act, wherein, because I did a bachelor's degree in law, and currently I'm doing my master's in disability studies and inclusive development, and Dr. Isaac is doing a master's in medicine. So therein, under section 1, it defines who persons with disability are, and it is a privilege that in your tenure, in the 3rd schedule, and among the 8 categories of disabilities now in Uganda, the 3rd or the 7th category of persons with disability disability are persons with albinism. So I thank you for that, and we are really grateful because when we are recognized in the law, then we can absolutely advocate for our rights. Thank you.
State Minister for Disability. This is a token of appreciation from the albinism fraternity. You have done us much. This is only a token of appreciation. We give you this award with a big heart, a lot of gratitude for the far that you brought us. Allow me to present this to these 2 great mighty women who are before us.
Those who have been awarded. Yes, it is a good discipline. Thank you. You will also be awarded someday. Just pray to God the Almighty.
So, yes, thank you very much. This is for your great work that you have done for us.
Great.
Our first, our own. This is for Mama. Yes, there is a message on that. Sealed for you for the great work that you have done. The same happened to my minister. I call her my minister. And indeed, it is a great honor. Our hearts are grateful. A very small token. No, values are okay for you. And this, for us, we want to say that when you're having that meal and put your family there, remember people with albinism. That small one for you, Mama, you know what you need it for. We are more than happy. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The Right Honorable Rebecca Njola Kadaga, the First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister Minister of East African Community Affairs, Honorable Grace Ellen, Minister of State, in charge of Disability Affairs, and the Minister of Gender, Labor and Social Development, the RDC, Mukono, the leadership, and all of you persons with albinism, our very distinguished partners, stakeholders, representatives of civil society, organizations, all of you distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, I wish to take this opportunity to welcome you to this very important event as Uganda joins the rest of the world to commemorate the International Albinism Awareness Day. But I wanted to request that all of us join in a thunderous applause to welcome Right Honorable Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga as a gift, not only to this country, but as a champion for inclusion. And I think from what has been demonstrated from the awards that have been given, it is clear. Testimonies have been given of the journey that persons with albinism have walked with her support right from the time she was Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda. A lot was achieved, and even then, so many years later, she continues to champion the cause of all the disadvantaged persons, but with a special passion for persons with albinism. Your presence, Right Honorable, is a clear indication of the importance you attach to the needs and the rights of persons with albinism in Uganda. Ladies and gentlemen, on 18th of December 2014, the United Nations General Assembly adopted a resolution establishing June 13th as International Albinism Awareness Day. This resolution reaffirmed the global commitment to promoting rights and dignity of persons with albinism. The International Albinism Awareness Day commemoration is designed to align with key international and national frameworks, including the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, the Sustainable Development Goals, and Uganda's Persons with Disabilities Act of 2020, all of which emphasize non-discrimination and full participation, reducing inequalities, while also fostering partnerships for sustainable development. In addition, this day helps us to adopt and emphasize a multi-sectoral strategy that integrates advocacy campaigns, policy dialogues, stakeholder collaboration, and community-led initiatives to drive systemic change and reducing barriers to inclusion. Right Honorable Chief Guest, ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development is the lead agency in the social development sector and focuses on the management and coordination of programs and services for vulnerable groups, including, of course, persons with albinism. This category of persons with disabilities, as you've heard, is marginalized and often excluded from benefits of development and are prone to stereotypes that are sometimes even fatal because of the myths that surround albinism. Right Honorable Chief Guest, at the technical level, we have intentionally worked to ensure that the rights of persons with albinism are protected and promoted. This has been done by putting in place the legal and policy frameworks such as the National Albinism Action Plan that you've heard about, ensuring that persons with albinism are a category specified under Schedule 3 of the Persons with Disabilities Act. My ministry has collaborated with Ministry of Health to include sunscreens on the list of the essential drugs. The ministry has further worked in partnership with that of health to ensure that persons with albinism are included as a special category for early diagnosis, prevention, and control of skin cancer in the National Cancer Control Plan of 2025. Under the National Special Grant, Right Honorable, you have heard that we have made a deliberate move of targeting persons with albinism to benefit from this grant. And so far, 546 persons with albinism have benefited from it. These are precisely targeted or specifically targeted because of the discrimination that sometimes is perpetuated by other persons with disabilities to those with albinism, where they are denied to join groups that have other categories of disabilities. I listened attentively during the presentation made by the representatives of persons with albinism. They talked about their center, they talked about the need for equipment, and in my mind, I was recalling that as a ministry, beyond the special grants, there are other programs through which we are supporting groups of women, groups of youth with equipment such as the Juakali program. And I've already made a resolve that I would like to see that every time we are considering beneficiaries for this kind of equipment, I'll be happy to see that persons with albinism are also benefiting from this kind of programs of government. And in the case of education, reducing stigma, I'd like to commit also that I'll engage with my colleague, the Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Education and Sports, to ensure that this matter is taken up, the issue of discrimination, the issue of stigma within the schools, and that together we can find a solution to it. As I conclude, Chief Guest, on behalf of the technical team of my ministry and other relevant MDAs, that is the ministries, departments, and agencies, would like to pledge to continue serving the persons with albinism with a more focused lens, aiming at the peculiar needs that require typical attention. And I would like also, Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, to appreciate, as I prepare to invite my minister who is in charge of disability affairs, to appreciate her for her leadership, for her constant reminders to us, the technical team, on our duty to ensuring full inclusion of all disadvantaged persons, including persons with disabilities. I would like to appreciate you, Honorable Minister, and also make a confession, as I also appreciate the department in charge of disability and elderly affairs at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development for their constant prompting, their constant reminders whenever there are issues to do with persons with disabilities. They have relentlessly been the voice for these people, in order that when we are programming, when we are planning, we don't lose sight of their needs. Just today is a good example. Right Honorable Chief Guest, we are concluding the financial year, and at my desk I had difficulty even exiting because of the amount of paperwork that we have to conclude. But because I owed it first and foremost to my political supervisor, to my colleagues in the department, I had to prioritize this event and make sure that I'm here at all costs. And it is good that I've seen firsthand the challenges and what we have to do as a ministry, and I can guarantee that it will never be the same in my office in terms of supporting the cause of persons with disabilities. Permit me at this juncture to take this opportunity to invite the Honorable Minister in charge of Disability Affairs to address you, and thereafter she will have the singular honor of inviting you to address us. I thank you for your kind attention.
Yes. I want to start by asking everybody to stand up, because for me I've not come to talk, I've come to hamper to review. Stand up, those who can stand up. We have to stretch the blood. There used to be a good song where they used to sing in the nursery school that if you are happy and you know, clap your hands. If you are happy and you know, clap your hands. If you are happy and you know, and you really want to show. If you are happy and you know, clap your hands. If you are happy and you know, sit down. If you are happy and you know, sit down. Thank you. Can we give a big hand clap to Right Honorable Kadaga for coming? Can we do it again? Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for East Africa, my permanent secretary, the RDC, technical team. I don't know who's leading them. I think Mondo. Mondo is an MC, but he's also my staff. So he's a part and parcel of the disability movement, even before I became a minister. So you clap for Mondo. He knows what to talk and what to say on such a day. I want in a special way to thank the community of albinism for coming together. Clap for yourselves. Right about Speaker, if you can recall when we were in Jinja, we had a celebration in Jinja, and then we had a celebration in Mbale. For the same people. I asked you that me, I'm driven up to Jinja, I cannot again run at the level of a helicopter to Mbale, and you said we shall go together. But it was so tiresome. But talking the same message. So today, after 10 years, we come together as people with what? Albinism. We need to thank God. And that is one of the achievements as we go to year 11, that we shall be celebrating this day together. Clap for those leaders who agreed that we shall work together. Right Honorable First Deputy, personally, I want to thank you. The achievements of the 10 years have really been accredited to you. And that's the reason I told you that these people wanted you. I kept on telling you, I don't know what I'm going to tell them. Even when Wailia told, I said, what am I going to do? They said, that is the only, and it was in a conference meeting, because I was talking to them, some of them were out of the country, and all of them said, Mama Kadaga. Then I asked them, is that an altar? They said, no, first look for that one. So they have been on my neck, and you have saved me for coming here. Thank you so much for appreciating and accepting to come for our people. You only don't have a passion, and I want to report here. The 2020 Act, which was revised, was under her leadership. And she was very passionate to see that we put people with albinism into the law. The same person used to organize every year a run for people with disabilities. So the money you were talking about came out of the run that has bought us the land. And I hope other people can learn a lesson that do something for people who are unfortunate, and God will also reward you. We thank you, we don't take that for granted. I also want to thank you, Mama, in the cabinet. I think the permanent secretary will always suffer harass. She points at us that we are not doing enough. And when the census came, which has not been mentioned by albinism, I will stand here and say, Right Rokadaga told the director of UBOS, you, when are you counting the albinos? And this year, you are in the report of the National UBOS report. I think we have about 70,000 reported already in our law. And we shall continue following it up. And this has a record also, because you have been counted. Now we know how to plan for you. It will be very difficult to plan for people you don't know. But if she did not point at that, you know, Right on Bokadaga is this person who can, she was my boss, I know. She just gives orders. And there's a time, I want to be a permanent secretary who comes with you from the Soba. He told me, you know, it's my person. She was, I don't know why she was tough. I said, no, she wants us to change. Albinos, FGM, we are not doing well. So I told him, if we change, we shall be friends. So she just did that for action, and the action is here, really seen, and you are coming to see that we are working. And you have had the permanent secretary promise. I also want to thank you. Yesterday, you were not in the budget speech, but you led us in the discussion of topping up the 500,000 on the 1 million of PDM that people with disabilities are going to get. You were the chair. I was part of your committee, and I want to report here that she was able to deliver that up to the level of the president. And we met the president, and the president had to shake his head. I remember local government said, no, we can't increase, you know, ABCD. She said, no, it's workable, we'll go first to the president. And when she presented, president said, 500,000 top up for people with disabilities. The only group which is getting a top up. Can't we clap louder than that? Meaning that when you get PDM 1 million, you are going to be given a top up of 500 to take care of your system challenges. Because if you're a woman moving with crutches, you need somebody to carry for you the greens and the whatever. So I think we need to appreciate government for listening. But that was not done other than Right Honorable Kadaga, the first Deputy Prime Minister, summoning us to her office. I remember when she said, where's the PS? She called him on the phone, and PS said, now, Honorable Minister, what are we supposed to do? I said, this is a guidance that... And I'm happy that he sent us one of the planners, and we delivered the thing. And yesterday, it was ready in budget and said the disabled are going to get the 501,000. We thank you, and we don't want to take it for granted. I also want, in a special way, again, Right Honorable, to thank you for taking really vulnerable people. I remember when the issues of albinos started, there was a case in Buyende. And this is the time you picked up albinism like your personal project. And you made sure that those children whom people were threatening, because people think when you get a person with albinism, you can take them for rituals. And again, you spearheaded the act on the issue of trafficking and taking people for human sacrifice. You did that act because of that challenge. And I want to appreciate that people out there, these people are not for riches. They are human beings. They are like anybody. You will kill a person with albinism and the poverty will continue being with you. Because you have done a mess. These people just have, because of God's way of life, that they did not get the color to make them black. So for you, you think when I get this one, I'm going to get with this one. There are those who think that when I sleep with a woman with albinism, I will be cured of HIV/AIDS. My friend, these people are just human like any other person. So I want to call upon the public out there. to stop underwriting the people with albinism. We have noted, and I want to make a promise here, the National Action Plan is ending, but Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, this National Action Plan was made, but the groups have been divided. So the following it up has been hard. But I promised them that after the function, we are going to sit down, draw a new action plan, give each of them a responsibility, but every quarter we shall report back and say, this is what we have done. Is it good for us or is it not good for us? So this is something that I have pledged the Olivias, that I'll be calling the meeting and call the technical team to make sure that this action plan is revised. Because I don't think we have fulfilled everything in the action plan. So a revision will take place as soon as possible before we go on serious with our campaign. This has to be handled. I want also to report to you that I made a deliberate effort. Whenever I would look at the people benefiting from the National Special Grant, people with albinism were not on the list. And I was told it's very hard to get them. But when we made the deliberate effort, the technical people were able to get some of them. And some of them are the ones you see showing their things behind there. I want to thank government and my team for looking out for people with albinism. And anybody out there, my RDC was asking me, look out for these people. You had one of them talking here. That is your Mukono product. So that we get them deliberately to benefit from government programs. I come to the issue of jobs. You know, jobs, we always talk about jobs and we want to be in white collar. But for me, I know a job, if you get money, you start your business, you become an employer. Even when you are not seated in an office. Some of the rich people in Uganda are not in formal employment. But they're employing a lot of people. So let us get out of this thing of thinking that I want to get a white collar job. It might not be possible. Like my young son here, Okui comes from Serere. I also come from Serere. He has advanced, he's now going for masters. Why don't you begin legal services for us? So that we can pay you to do work for us. Begin a farm. Then we can see how we come to your place and then people get what? Services from you. The issue of bullying, I think we shall also take it up, and I'm happy the PSS, you can talk to the permanent secretary and be able to help them. And then Minister of Health, I think at cabinet level, we can also bring this to their attention. I want to conclude by asking people with albinism. All of you standing here, we are very smart in courts, in very good. Clap for yourselves. Right Honorable First Deputy Prime Minister, I have been in the disability movement. When we started, some of us around 1992, we were walking in slippers, but can't advocate for disabled people. We were coming with 1 or 2 dresses, and you washing them and change in the morning, but you have to demonstrate that the disabled are around. So you walk in Constitutional Square, you are taken, I remember the late Mazima was our CA delegate, he takes you to Serena and you fear even to sit on the chairs. But these ones here are very beautiful, they look good, they are not going to be chased from any office. With us, they will ask, where are you coming from? Say, oh, me, I'm coming from Karamoja. Oh, what about you? What do you want to say? But in the head, we had our issues. What am I trying to say? People with albinism, if you don't tell us your issues, we shall not make a miracle. Come out, tell your issues, and then we can see how to support you. And I want to report to you, Right Honorable, the other day we handled the issue of biometric voting. I have just been given a report here that for them, even the Irish, their eyes are, I don't know, Ogik, come here and explain. He was telling me their eyes over shake over. So they're getting the Irish, which we had recommended as cabinet, seems also not to be working. You remember we had said facial, added the Irish, because if some people does not have thumbs. But again, as I sat here, I was again told even the Irish might be a problem. So I've told them maybe you put it in writing, and then we see how we can proceed. But you can give us the information.
Sorry. Right. Thank you, First Deputy Prime Minister. According to the issue, as we are right now ongoing the registration of also our national IDs, when you go to the facilities, they're asking us to open our eyes. And as persons with albinism, most of us have stigmas whereby our iris or retina can't stand for much seconds to be taken the picture. As a result of that, many of us are being denied that chance of recording our eyes. So how I wish they come with other mechanisms that would allow us to have that issue to be addressed. Thank you.
Thank you. I think, Mama, you have heard that one, and you'll guide in your speech what we should do. Mine was like maybe they could write it down, and then we see, because again they will not get IDs, and this is going to be more dangerous for their involvement in government programs. And as I conclude now, I want just, with your permission, I have some small envelopes. I was here before you, so I saw some people dancing, and I felt I should give some small envelope. I want to begin with Snooper, not because I come from Eastern, but I have been part of the development of Snooper, right from the time it was a baby. These people were not the way they are, but now they are very smart men and women. Thank you so much, and I will give you a small envelope, and keep it until you reach Ginger. Can I have Grace? There was a Grace who welcomed me. Grace was dancing and breaking herself around. And then Sarah, and then Jane. I mean Rose, and then there was a Jane who talked about, Jane was a man, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, he was a man, but speaking like a woman who had been rejected because she got pregnant. I will say that she, because he was talking about a woman.
Mr. Makanga Mzamiru, Rose Virungi, and Sarah Nanyonjo.
Rose, you can come with a child also. Is it your child? Okay.
Rose Virungi, great dancer.
Then we have Sarah.
Sarah Nanyonjo.
Please help them. The sun is a bit high for them to see. Okay, where is he? Come here. This one is a very good Kadodi dancer.
That's Rose Virungi.
So Rose, thank you. So this is for you. How are you? And this is my namesake, Grace. And then I had the Jane.
Yes.
And then my small girl here. Where is Muzamira? The one who was putting on the gomas, but he was a man. Is he not around?
Muzamiru Makanga, don't put on the garments, just come the way you are.
People with albinism, 10 years is just the beginning of the journey. So you begin now fighting for your rights. Now that you are united, you come to any office, we shall listen to you. And our offices are open. My peers has promised to you the next Juakali, that is next year. You will be put on the list of the people who are going to benefit. And I know him when he has said it, he's going to put in writing to the department. And you'll have to look for the group to get there. This young man here who's called Jane. So here you are. But he was talking like a woman. At first I thought it was a woman. Thank you. So I think with those few envelopes, I want to thank you. But before I call Mom, I want to say that we condole with you for loss of your chairman, and I want to ask everybody to stand up for a minute of silence. Now take the honor and privilege to invite the First Deputy Prime Minister to really come and address us. And I will beg that after your discussion, we can take a photo with the leadership as a memorial photo of 10 years, and with some of the partners, because we have their partners here, and we need to see that photo that it comes and they continue supporting our people. And thank you all for coming. God bless you. Very, very focused on your issues.
right on, I gave her responsibility in Parliament to chair the Equal Opportunities Committee so that she could entrench issues of disability and especially albinism in our plans, in our budgets, the legislation. And she did a very good job. And I was happy when she came to cabinet, she has continued. In the cabinet, what they are talking about roads, we are talking about hospitals. Her question will be, how do my constituency fit in on everything? And what happened, by the way, we have forgotten the other group. So I want to thank her and ask her to continue with that advocacy. She has been a very, very reliable partner of mine in this journey you are talking about. Let me also congratulate you all for the struggle, the resilience, and the focus. And I'm happy to see our son who is now a graduate in law. I've seen our other young man from Cambogo. I'm missing the doctor, but I'm glad things are working. Things are working. However, I think Minister and the PS, I have been writing, I have been talking. On all these occasions, I speak certain things, and when I follow up, I write letters to the ministry. But I think I'm not satisfied at the speed at which responses are coming. So I think it's time for them to write a cabinet paper. I think we must now do that. And I've always wanted to see the Minister of Health attending this function in person of a representation to hear the issues under health. I've always wanted the Minister of Education or representation to be here to hear the issues. Of course, I've responded to some of the things you have written, but I wanted them here. But now, after 10 years of writing to them and telling them individually, let us go now to the whole country, the cabinet, so that decisions are taken on all these issues. And I'm disappointed that we still can't talk about the list of essential drugs. We started long ago. This was the first thing, even before we did anything. We're talking about this being placed as a essential drug, not as a cosmetic. We fought for the taxes to be removed from your screen, sunscreen. But you know, then one day you see the minister again, then you have to fight it again, you know. So I think it's time we got the cabinet and have these issues discussed together so that we have a common position and support our people to have a better life. Now, employment. As far as 2006, we deliberately enacted the law and said that the government will give incentives to those institutions which employ people with disabilities. I've been asked the Minister of Finance, how many incentives, how many people have you given incentives in relation to this? She has never answered. It's my grandfather, but she never answered. Because in 2006 up to now, there should be evidence that the government has responded to that law. So PS, that's another area I want to read that law to see how the incentives are being implemented. Of course, we've talked about the schools, we've talked about the health facilities, but I think now let's discuss it as a country and as the government together and come up with a common action. And then now the plan of action. Why is it not being taken? Why is it not being implemented? Why when these plans live here, we give them hope. Every year we come and meet them, we give them hope. But then there's no implementation. I think we need to now wake up the whole government to act together. I'm happy that we have made a contribution. After what I was speaking, I said, by the way, this is a small thing we did. This is a small thing we did. This is a small thing we did. One of the things I did when I was the Speaker of Parliament is to organize those works that I've told you about to raise money so that now you can be good land. I don't know whether it has continued, but at least we did our part and gave you the seed money to buy that land. I hope that will wake up and support you. The other thing I did was also to work by example by appointing one girl with albinism, a graduate girl. She's the advantage. I said no interviews, as long as she has got a degree, bring her, and she's there, she's working. And I told her I'm going for that exam. I don't have many apologies, but that is to show you
that for me, I do what I say, and I support the albinism fraternity. So I think all those are issues we need to put in that cabinet paper to ensure that the government is aware. And I'm really happy about you, boss. I called that man to my office and I said, I want you, Mr. Yubos, tell me how many albinos are there in the country. He said, I don't know. I said, what are you planning to do if you don't know how many there are? So I told him that in the next census, I want to see specifically the component of albinos. And now it has come. So now we know the numbers, we know the young ones, we know the adults, we know those who are in the middle. We can plan. So I'm glad that that has been done and that we are now moving progressively together. So let us work together, increase that. But now, did you get that job? Or try to get a job in the AU? Did you get the position? Still pending? Oh. Yes. Please, for Rhino Ding and his friends. Okay. Yes, please work with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And I also instructed the reporting by the Ministry of Foreign Cooperation to help promote her, to make sure she's appointed to the African Union as our representative so that she can also speak for us in Africa. Yes, Honorable Contact Ambassador Utengo with the same mission. So please let's follow it up so that this small Ugandan girl gets up there and speaks for us. So I'm really happy to be here on the 10th anniversary. I congratulate all of you, and I want to wish you a very, very good 10 years of more progress, more visibility, and more inclusion. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
And pretty soon you'll stop.